Jeopardy!
Welcome to another game of Jeopardy! See if you're ready for these first-round categories.
The Bible. Hints from Heloise. Ends in da. Films of the 50s. Nursery rhymes. Plays.
Let's get things underway, player one.
This pudding and pie guy kissed the girls and made them cry.
Player two. Yes, indeed. You're off to a great start. Player two, you choose.
Its second verse begins, every fiddler, he had a fiddle, and a very fine fiddle had he.
Player one. Regrettably, no. Anyone? Here is the correct response. Player two, your turn.
The knave of hearts brought these edible treats back and vowed he'd steal no more.
Player two. That's it, exactly. All right, pick again.
This playground fun spoiler is asked to go away, come again another day.
Player two. Oh, I'm sorry, that's wrong. Player one. Yes, indeed. Player one, your turn.
According to a nursery rhyme, oranges and these fruits say the bells of St. Clement's.
Here is the correct response. Player one.
He was the son of either Jacob or Heli, as well as the husband of Mary.
Here is the correct response. What'll it be, player one?
Don't throw this away. Take it out of your medicine bottles and use it to apply nail polish remover.
Anybody? Here is the correct response. Player one, you choose.
More than 300 sets were built for this 1959 classic, including the 18-acre Circus Maximus.
Anybody? Player one, what'll it be?
Flossy Waltzer.
Player 3. That's correct. Okay, Player 3.
Mrs. F. Scott Fitzgerald.
Player 3. That's correct. All right, pick again.
What's called the 17-year locust is really this.
Anybody? All right, pick again.
It's just the domed type of a building for a round-table discussion.
Player 3. Exactly. All right, pick again.
It's not a snake in the grass, it's a snake in the river. A really big snake in a South American river.
Anybody? Player 3. Good guess, but that's incorrect, unfortunately. Player 1. Yes. That puts you in the lead. Player 1, it's your turn.
One of Humphrey Bogart's most powerful roles was Captain Queeg in this 1954 film.
Player 3. Yes. All right, Player 3.
Ronald Reagan monkeyed around with a chimp in this 1951 comedy.
Player 3.
He played Brick to Elizabeth Taylor's Maggie in Cat on a Hot Tin Roof.
Anybody? All right, Player 3.
Film in which Judy Holliday tells Broderick Crawford, "You're just not couth."
Player 3. Yes, indeed. All right, pick again.
The American buffalo in David Mamet's play is one of these that would interest a numismatist.
All right, pick again.
Nathan was a prophet in the court of this king and anointed his successor.
Here is the correct response. All right, pick again.
Walter Matthau and Art Carney starred in this play when it debuted on Broadway in 1965.
Player 3. Yes. All right, pick again.
Feydeau's La Puce à l'oreille translates to one of these in her ear.
Anybody? All right, pick again. Answer? Nearly double. Player 3, we have your wager, please.
1985's The Birthday Party was the first full-length play by this author of The Homecoming.
Player 3. Exactly. All right, pick again.
Thomas Becket was the subject of this T.S. Eliot play?
Player 2. That's it exactly. Player 2, you choose.
If your hamster's wheel squeaks, Heloise suggests applying this sticky stuff, also known as petrolatum.
Player 3. Correct. Player 3, what'll it be?
Before baking the peanut butter type of these, Heloise flattens them with a potato masher.
It's your turn, Player 3.
Heloise pulls this bathroom headgear over her face when she tries on dresses in a store.
Player 2. Wrong. Here is the correct response. Player 3, it's your turn.
Heloise makes the throw type of these from fabric remnants and stuffs them with old pantyhose.
Here is the correct response. Player 3, it's your turn.
Matthew lists 9 of these declarations whose name comes from the Latin for happiness. Luke lists only 4.
Player 3. To be sure. All right, pick again.
The name of this Old Testament book comes from the Septuagint and probably refers to the census that begins it.
Here is the correct response.
And to finish the board,
This third son of Adam lived 912 years.
Well, that brings us to the end of the first round.
Let's look at the total scores so far.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for Double Jeopardy. Now here are the categories for the Double Jeopardy round.
cathedrals and churches, word origins, newspapers and magazines, business and finance, the 17th century, celebrities' middle names.
Player 2, you go first. Answer, Daily Double. Player 2, your wager, please.
This business associate may be dormant, general, limited, secret, or silent.
Player 2? No, that's incorrect. Here is the correct response. All right, pick again.
Victor Hugo described it as a vast symphony in stone. Quasimodo would agree.
Player 2? Oh, I'm sorry, that's wrong. All right, pick again.
The United States' oldest continuously published newspaper is this city's Courant.
Anyone? Player 2? Good guess, but no. Anybody? Here is the correct response. All right, pick again.
George Chapman's translation of this Homer work was completed in 1611. His Odyssey appeared in 1616.
Player 3. No, too bad. All right, pick again.
This synonym for enormous comes from the name of a famous elephant exhibited by P.T. Barnum.
Anybody? Here is the correct response. All right, pick again.
Middle name shared by Jamie Curtis and Kathy Gifford.
Here is the correct response. All right, pick again.
It's your group of investments. A diversified one minimizes risk.
Player 2? Why, yes. All right, pick again.
It's an illegal stock transaction based on information not available to the general public.
Player 2? No. All right, pick again.
On a firm's books, an uncollectible account used to reduce net profit is called this.
All right, pick again.
Similar to a commission, this fee is paid to the person who brought the buyer and seller together.
Here is the correct response. All right, pick again.
James Renwick designed this Fifth Avenue Cathedral in the Gothic Revival style.
Player 1? Why, yes. Player 1, you choose.
Desiree was the middle name of this star who married a man named Desi.
Anybody? Here is the correct response. Your choice, Player 1.
The American Association of Retired Persons puts out this bi-monthly publication.
Player 2? No, too bad. Here is the correct response. Player 1, it's your turn.
Columbia is the magazine of this fraternal order of Roman Catholic men.
Here is the correct response.
Okay, contestant 1.
His famous open letter, J'accuse, was published in the newspaper L'Aurore.
Here is the correct response. Player 1, you choose. The answer is a video daily double. Player 1, please make your wager.
His reports about the search for David Livingstone were published by the New York Herald.
Take a look at your monitor.
Player 1.
That is incorrect. Here is the correct response. All right, pick again.
The Basilica of the Holy Blood in Bruges in this country contains a relic believed to be drops of Christ's blood.
All right, pick again.
This English city's modern cathedral, built in 1962, stands next to the bombed-out ruins of the old one.
Here is the correct response. All right, pick again.
The cathedral of this northern Italian city looks quite fashionable with its 135 marble spires.
Player 2. Right you are.
Player 2, you choose.
Sophia Alexievna served as regent of this country from 1682 to 1689.
Here is the correct response. Your choice, Player 2.
Llama and quinine are among the words derived from Quechua, the language of this ancient empire.
It's your turn, Player 2.
A royal observatory was founded in this London borough in 1675.
Anybody?
Here is the correct response. Player 2, what'll it be?
The name of this black and white bear-like mammal is believed to be a native Nepalese word.
Anyone?
Here is the correct response. All right, contestant 2.
Bridget Fonda's middle name. It's her famous aunt's first name.
Anybody?
Okay, Player 2.
In 1640, Artois was reconquered by this country, which has held it ever since.
Anyone?
Here is the correct response. What'll it be, Player 2?
Popular winter sports equipment whose name is from Old Norse for sticks of wood.
Player 2? That's correct.
All right, pick again.
This other name for a divan is derived from the Arabic word for a platform or bench.
Here is the correct response. All right, pick again.
It's a gem of a middle name for actor Lou Phillips.
Here is the correct response. All right, pick again.
Andrew Melville, who succeeded this man as the leader of Scottish Presbyterianism, died in 1622.
Here is the correct response.
And to finish the board,
It's the middle name of Sarah Parker, who went on a honeymoon in Vegas.
Player 1? That's correct. That's the end of Double Jeopardy.
Let's take a look at the scores.
Let's see what our category is for Final Jeopardy.
historic documents.
Player 1 and 3, get ready for Final Jeopardy. Sorry, Player 2, you have to sit this one out.
Player 3, could we have your wager, please? Player 1, please make your wager. Here's the Final Jeopardy answer.
Let's see how everyone did.
Thanks, Johnny. Player 3, your question? Sorry, that's incorrect. Let's see how much it cost you. Player 1, let's take a look at your question. No, I'm sorry. What's that going to cost you? Here is the correct response.
Congratulations, Player 1. You're the Jeopardy champion.
Hope you had fun. We did, and we'll see you soon.
Here are the high scores for all the game modes.